And now, the claims that they're bringing up is a warning that election observers in the country and in the EU are giving over fears of possible violence, election violence. And this is because of sensational claims that have been given by NASA that the government is planning to use security docket to hang on to power and, so to speak, militarize NASA's strongholds to suppress voters from coming out to vote. Kotieno, what evidence is there to make these claims, first of all?
One, it was in bad faith for administration of the day to profile some areas that are not popular with them as hotspot areas. The idea there generally is to send officers or security personnel in guise of going to contain violence or to contain conflict there. Once security men have infiltrated those areas, and I know they'll be roaming around, people will have fear, and this will actually suppress people to come out and vote. Basically, I would want to know the yardstick that they were using to come and say that this area X is a hotspot, area Y is a hotspot. Then, secondly, history is replete with the countries in Africa and leaders in Africa who've clung to power being aided by security personnel. And I know, African leaders, immediately when times come for election, they normally develop this maladjustment of not transiting from their stations to the other. And I know Uhuru is not an exceptional. He will be beaten and will not he will not want to give power. And that's why we are saying the security personnel should maintain their role as people who are maintaining law and order or people who are guarding our borders, period. Anything more than that, it will be an indictment in our polling process.
Right.
We are saying that we want to respect law and order. We respect our servicemen and our women, but they too should actually respect our right to exercise our democratic right peacefully.
Right.
Yep.
And Zai, your thoughts on these, the warnings that we're being given by election observers, and most of them stemming from the claims being given by NASA?
Yeah, I think that still goes into really the sad part of, you see, a sitting president, even when there's an election, is still a sitting president, and they have major responsibility to simply assure the Kenyan people that it is okay. You know, we'll have a peaceful election, and whatever we do, the directive by my minister, the like of Matiang'i, is all in good faith, okay? But the problem we have here is simply a problem of mistrust, which has been there, a problem of simply every one of them does not really want a fair and credible election, they simply want to win. In all this conversation, what you see, there is no conversation about the Kenyan out there. It's a conversation about these two people, or simply how they secure their votes. They're not thinking about the Kenyan right now, where this tension that's going on, someone is thinking, maybe I simply need to go home with my family to secure my family.
Right.
And those are real things which I think the international community has come up and said. Now, I think it goes back to what's important today, that these two still have major responsibility. Today is a major platform where simply they can assure the Kenyan people that it is well, okay? Again, I call on them. I think some of the issues that we'll be discussing there, to just give you a glimpse, we're going to be discussing about the social and economic injustices. We're going to be talking about the theft of public funds. We're talking about ending tribalism. We're talking about protecting the Constitution and rule of law, which has been trampled around by all these two parties. Because much of this, what you are hearing, is simply, if the law works for me, that is good. If it does not work, then I will break the law, right? And it is okay.
And we'll be coming back to that conversation. Whether, let's briefly finish up on this militarization claims that NASA has.
Now, I think NASA is trying to hold on to anything. Their thinking is very fallacious. One, you cannot say that all the people in the security organs are Jubilee supporters. They are I know some of my friends are ardent NASA supporters.
And just to be fair, to put it into perspective,
yes.
According to NASA, they said they have their people, within the police service that are giving them this information, that a section of the police service is being used for this purpose.
That's what I'm coming up. I'm saying, when you say that these people will be supporting Jubilee in their quest to ensure that people don't turn out to vote, that is on the presumption that Jubilee supporters, the security agencies, are mixed. Secondly, to say that there are no hot spots in this country during elections, it's just to bury your head under the sand and then pretend that it is Jubilee. There are areas that are more prone to violence on small ignition that requires action to be taken so that people feel safe. I do not think, because in every polling station there will be police officers armed with G3 or AK-47, and it has been so since the 90s and the 80s when Honorable Kalonzo was running as a candidate and was minister, and it did not prevent people from going to vote. Why it would turn out that today they will not go to vote is to make a story for NASA to find a way of rejecting elections once they lose. Let us avoid unnecessary, scary rhetoric that has no basis so that you have an excuse for rejecting this election.